We are less than a week away from the 2025 NFL draft, so I decided I would put together a list of the 5 players I would be happiest to see the Saints draft with that ninth overall spot. Now, you will notice there are no quarterbacks on this list, and the reason for that is just from everything that I'm hearing, seeing, it doesn't sound like the Saints are going to go quarterback with that ninth overall spot. Of course, come draft night, anything could happen, but it's just not looking like that is the way it is going to go. So no quarterbacks are on this list. And at the end, you will also maybe notice that there is one particular player that has been kind of linked with the Saints that I left off of this list. And that's because I simply don't want to see it happen. Right. So let's just jump right into it. No wasting time here. Uh, First guy, Ted McMillan, wide receiver out of Arizona. I think this guy would be the perfect complement to the New Orleans Saints wide receiver room. I think he's big, physical. He is very underrated with the ball in his hands with his yards after the catch ability. I think that again he's a perfect partner in crime for Chris Olave. Get Chris Olave a big X receiver so that Olave can go and play that Z role where he doesn't have to make those contested catches all the time, where he doesn't have to be in so much traffic all the time. Get you a big body receiver like Ted McMillan that can go and do that. Now I know like it seems like he's fallen a little bit, and some guys or I've seen some like drafts even have him sliding out of the first round, and to me that is absolutely ridiculous. Now, admittedly, this draft isn't very wide receiver heavy in terms of premier talent, and I don't really think that McMillan is premier talent, but I think that he's going to be really, really good, a really solid wide receiver too in the National Football League. I think that he's again he can go up and make those contested catches. He can separate. I've seen people say that he can't separate. I'm like, what film are you watching, man? Because this guy is a ball player, and he would fit perfectly with the Saints wide receiver room next to Chris Olave, and also complement Rashid Shaheed as well. So my number one choice would be Ted McMillan because again, I just think he's the perfect complement to what the Saints already have in that wide receiver room. Right. Next, this guy will probably be off the board, but wishful thinking, right? And that's Ashton Genty. And I know some people are going to see this or hear this and say, a wide receiver with the ninth overall pick, the Saints need so, or a running back with the ninth overall pick, the Saints need so many other things. But listen, man, Ashton Genty is a special talent. And I know that, taking a running back in the first round, let alone the top 10, is kind of still a taboo thing to do. We're starting to see it creep back in to, teams' draft plans. But man, I think when you have a talent like Ashton Genty sitting right there and he's on the board and you have a chance to get him and add that kind of juice to your locker room, dude, like 100% would be in favor of that because this man is special. I think he's my favorite running back that I've watched, that I've studied coming out, even above Bijan Robinson. And I loved Bijan Robinson. If these two were on the board and I had no choice but to select a running back, I am selecting Ashton Genty all day long. 110%. Next guy, Jahad Campbell, linebacker, very versatile player. This guy can literally do it all. He's good in coverage. He's good against the run. He can even rush the passer if you want him to. Now he's not really polished in that area yet. I think it's going to take a few years for him to get to a level where, um, he can do that successfully, consistently. But I think right now you can start him day one easily as an off the ball linebacker, and he will make explosive plays for your football team, pairing him with Demario Davis, Pete Werner in there. I mean, instant upgrade to the linebacker room. And another thing in coverage, he's got these like big wide arms, like this wingspan that can just like I don't know, you just have to see him in zone coverage. Like it's hard to throw against him because of that wingspan. He's so good at just taking up space, if that makes sense. And again, he can fly, he can go sideline to sideline. He can do it all. Very explosive linebacker in Jihad Campbell. So that's the third guy that I would like to see the Saints take. Next one here. Listen, sticking with the defensive side of the ball, and I'm just now noticing that uh, three out of this 5 list is on the defensive side of the ball. Mason Graham. Listen, Mason Graham is a freaking stud, okay? Now, this isn't a super flashy pick because he is a defensive lineman, an interior defensive lineman, and he's not one that's going to be a pass rushing specialist. This guy is going to come in and he is going to eat up double teams and he is going to stuff the run. Now, can every once in a while he throw a move at you and rush the passer? Yes. And I think that he will continue to be better. And I think like, 3, 4, 5 years down the line now, He'll be a totally different player in the aspect of pass rushing, but right now, you're going to put him in the football game to stop the run, and that is something that the Saints have badly struggled with over the past few years is stopping the run. But you draft a guy like Mason Graham and stick him on that defensive line right away on rundowns. Come on, man. Like that's money every time. He's going to stop the run, stop those leaks that we've seen the Saints defensive line have, over the past however many years. Absolute stud Mason Graham can do it all, and I think again his pass rushing ability um, is only going to improve and get better. But again, you can stick him day one, and he'll be a fantastic run defender. Will eat up double teams, no problem. And then the last guy on my list here. Now this one may be a little controversial. I know he's had some off the field stuff that I'm not sure about, so taking him 9 overall, maybe a reach. But he's my favorite edge rusher in this entire draft class, and that's because of the plethora of moves that he has already. And I'm talking about Mike Green, okay? Out of Marshall, I get it, small school, didn't really play a ton of high level competition, but did play teams like, Ohio State and was very good against Ohio State. This guy, his pass rushing bag is already so large that it's like it's hard to believe. He can hit you with a spin move, inside move. He can hit you with a ghost move around the edge. He can run through you with a bull rush. I think he had one of the most viral clips in all the Senior Bowl going against Josh Connerly Jr. out of Oregon, who is also going to be a good tackle in the league. And he just completely ran right through him. I mean, this guy has so many moves that he can employ um, right out of the gate. He can get to the passer. He reminds me of like a junkyard dog, like on those old movies or TV shows where like kids would break into a junkyard and then they would come across the junkyard dog and that dog would like chase them off. That's what Mike Green reminds me of. He is relentless, ferocious, and you put him on that field for one job, and that job is to get after the quarterback. Period. But he also has the athleticism to drop into coverage every once in a while and switch things up. Super versatile player. Again, sort of in the realm of in terms of just athleticism and versatility as Jahad Campbell, where but the difference between the two is Jahad Campbell is more off the ball than on the ball, and Mike Green is more on the ball than off the ball. But again, Mike Green just insane bag already as a young player, as a pass rush specialist, and he will get after the quarterback no problem. Now, you may notice one name I did not mention that has been linked with the Saints, and that is Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State. Look, I think that Tyler Warren is going to be a very good tight end in this league, but I don't agree with drafting one top 10 of the draft. Like if you look at the history of like the last 10 tight ends to go top 10 in the draft, it's not very favorable, right? I don't have a list in front of me right now, but you can look it up. Look up the top 10 uh or the last 10 tight ends to go in the top 10 of a draft. It's just like a very poor hit rate, right? And I just especially with the money, the contract that you just gave to Juwan Johnson, and you pair that with also Taysom Hill, essentially he's still, he's in the tight end room, right? He's being paid as a tight end, and also, you look at what Foster Moreau was able to do last year. Foster Moreau was by far the Saints' best tight end last year. Okay, like by far, he was actually good last year. And so you pair all those things together with Taysom, you just given Jawan a bunch of money, and you already have Foster Moreau. I think spending a top 10 pick on a tight end at that point, it just doesn't really it just I don't agree with it, right? Like now would I absolutely just be despise it and hate it and get on here and cry about it if it happens on draft night? No, because at the end of the day, if you do go with a guy like Tyler Warren, special player, explosive player, so I couldn't complain too much on the situation, right? So all in all, whatever they decide to do, the Saints they really can't get this pick wrong because they need so much help. They need help everywhere. So whatever they decide to do, whatever pick they make, it's hard to get this one wrong. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace.